Raise a glass if you think Rioja only produces red wine. Certainly it's known for this, but there are whites and rosés from Rioja too. In this episode, Allison and I learn a bit more about this beautiful region in Spain and open a few bottles, not all of which are red. Enjoy the episode, give it a like, comment, and subscribe to our channel for more. Rioja is located in the north and eastern part of Spain, and its most important river is not its namesake, Rio Oja, but the Ebro River. Snaking between the Sierra Cantabrica and the Sierra de Manda, the Ebro and its tributaries have helped carve out vineyards and that have been celebrated for at least 200 years.
Rioja itself has three subdivisions: Rioja Alavesa, Rioja Alta, and Rioja Baja. And while each has distinct differences, there's no hierarchy of quality between them. Among the varieties grown here, Tempranillo is king, but certainly Garnacha, Manzuela, also known as Cariñena, Graciano, and increasing numbers of other indigenous grapes are generating new ideas and styles in the region.
The climate is mainly continental with hot summers and cold winters. The average temperature ranges from 53 to 89 degrees Fahrenheit, and the precipitation ranges between 12 and 24 inches. That's an annual average. The wind called cierzo is very frequent around La Rioja during the winter.
Rioja wine is made predominantly from the Tempranillo grape, Spain's premier black grape variety that is thick-skinned, low in acidity, and grows most effectively where summer temperatures are balanced by the effects of the ocean or altitude.
This grape is the base of most blends, which may include the Garnacha or Grenache, Mazuelo, and Graciano grapes. White varieties are Viura, also known as Macabeo, Malvasia, and Garnacha Blanca.
In 1991, the Rioja region was the first wine region in Spain to gain DOCa status. This classification, Denominación de Origen Calificada, is very prestigious, and a region must meet stringent requirements to be included. There's only one other region, Priorat, that has this same status. Reds, whites, and rosés all have a home in Rioja, but the reds account for the greater part of its fame. Cindy, let's start with a white wine.
And I do have one from Bodegas Taron Blanco 2020. Bodegas Taron is the most northern winery in the DOCa Rioja, and it's close to the Oberenes Mountains and surrounds 4 villages that have grown grapes for a very, very long time. So there's a combination of over 700 hectares of vines with an average age of over 50 years. Now, this Taron Blanco right here is a Spanish white wine of Viura and white Tempranillo from Rioja. Young and light and fresh. It was created to reflect the flavor of the area's unique white varieties, all of which are native. So this is pale yellow, faint greenish tint, which you may or may not be able to see. Clean, white fruit, green apple, stone fruit, florals, citrus aromas. My gosh, fabulous. The acidity is bright and vibrant. Wow. And all those citrus notes, I would use it as an aperitif, tapas, some lighter tapas dishes, beautiful rice dishes, salads. Absolutely highly recommended. This is beautiful. How about a rosé? Do you have one?
So I have the Marqués de Cáceres 2020. It is a beautiful, bright pink color. I mean, look at that. It's like cotton candy color. Really in 1970, Enrique Forner founded Marqués de Cáceres Unión Vitivicultura, an alliance of growers in the village of Cenicero in the Rioja Alto subregion of Rioja. The Forner family has been devoted to the wine trade for 5 generations, and now Cristina Forner is at the helm. They looked for the best vine growers and vineyards in Rioja, and they introduced a Bordeaux concept, revolutionizing the production and business model in the region. So they have one goal: quality wines, and this beautiful wine is 96% Tempranillo and 4% Garnacha. Ooh, tons of red berry fruits jump out of the glass. Oh, it's got a little bit of kind of like a stone fruit, like the pit of the stone, that aroma, that kind of minerality part of it. This is a dry rosé, it has to be said, but it's got a lot of that kind of red fruit and those floral aromas that are getting carried through on the palate. It's got really refreshing acidity. It's a very balanced wine. It's got some nice structure on the palate. Really, really elegant rosé, long length, definitely something to pair with some food. I'd throw in some nice cheeses, maybe some shellfish. Pretty
Very,
tasty.
very nice. Well, I love a rosé of Tempranillo, so I'm glad we found a really good one today. But let's talk about red wines now. Aging classifications are the primary means of differentiating one red wine from the other. Joven is where the wines may or may not have spent time in oak before being bottled the year after the vintage. Crianza are red wines that have been aged for at least 2 years with a minimum of 6 months in oak. Reserva are red wines that have been aged for at least 3 years with a minimum of 12 months in the oak. And Gran Reserva are red wines that must be aged for at least 5 years with a minimum of 36 months in oak. And these are produced only in outstanding vintages. So why don't we taste some red wines now? What do you have?
I have the Montecillo Crianza. This is a 2017. Established in 1870, Bodegas Montecillo is one of the oldest wineries in the DO Rioja, and the name Montecillo means little mountain, which refers to the irregular topography of the Rioja vineyards. So these are wines to have a long bottle life. So at 5 years, maybe I'm drinking it a little early, but let's see. One fun note as I taken these aromas is that it is a female winemaker, Mercedes Garcia. So, you know, it's always a great thing to see that in the old world. But, ooh, it's got beautiful garnet color. I get tons of ripe red fruit, lots of cherry pits, cherry juice.
Wow.
Silky tannins. It's very, you know, it's nice on the palate. There's a richness, but also there's a nice kind of lift to it. Now, this is 85% Tempranillo, 15% Garnacha. So I love that the fruit kind of continues through, but the tannins really carry in, and you've got this lovely structure. And, you know, this is just calling for like a nice piece of like grilled, you know, flank steak or something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow, that sounds fabulous. But I have a Gran Reserva. It's Baron de Ley Gran Reserva Rioja 2013. And this winery is a high-profile Spanish winery located on the east side of the Ebro River in the Rioja DOCa, and it's best known for their red wines of Tempranillo. So the estate has a history dating back to the construction of its signature fortress back in 1548. And this fortress eventually became a Benedictine property, with the monks planting the first vines on the property. So that's kind of an interesting fact. But the Baron de Ley winery itself was founded in 1985, and the original monastery became the headquarters. So now there are 600 hectares of vines in as part of the Baron de Ley group. So I've got this amazing wine of Tempranillo. Oh, delicate wood, vanilla. Oh my gosh, that nugget, you know, that candied chocolate. Oh, it's so creamy and textured. Figs, that fine fig touch. Herbs, savory herbs, actually. Ripe cherries, incredibly fresh for being the vintage it is. Mineral, salty, red berry nuances. I mean, aging does make a difference in a premium wine. And I would enjoy this with lambs, stews. And if I could figure out how to make a really good paella, I would do that too. But this is an amazing wine, just delicious. We've tasted some good ones, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm still
So
sipping.
Rioja, I know. So Rioja produces such delicious wines at exceptional prices. And I've loved the wines we've sipped and can't wait to make a few tapas, or I'll try that paella and have some friends drop by. So we hope you had fun with this episode like we did. So give it a like, comment on your favorite wine or what you're going to pair your wine with, and subscribe to our channel for more. Cheers.
Cheers.